The Fire Beneath the Baobab, The Love That Breaks. Chapter 4. The Spirits Are Restless. The rains that followed Kwebena's return to Ngori were heavy and unrelenting. The riverbanks overflowed, flooding the farmlands. The villagers said the ancestors were disturbed, and that something sacred had been unsettled. Lightning cracked through the sky like a divine warning, and every night, the drums of distant thunder echoed like the growls of a slumbering god awakening. Ayana had changed. She was no longer the young woman who had offered salve for burned hands or whispered dreams under the stars. She was a presence now, ethereal and unpredictable. She moved like smoke, appeared and disappeared without sound. At night, her compound glowed with soft, inexplicable light. The village children called her enchanting, the one who twists through time. Elders muttered about spiritual possession. Kwebena tried to speak to her again. He returned, day after day, sometimes with gifts, sometimes with apologies. Ayana never turned him away, but she never let him close either. She answered his questions with parables and silences. He began to wonder if she was truly speaking to him or to something far beyond him. Zara called incessantly. Her voice, once tender, was now brittle with rage. "Have you gone mad, Kwebena? You left everything for a ghost." "I had to come back," he muttered. "I owe her everything. You owe me a marriage." But Kwebena didn't answer. He had begun dreaming of Ayana again, visions of her in fire, whispering his name in tones that echoed into bone. One night, he returned to the baobab. The air was still, heavy with moisture. Ayana stood waiting, not dressed in red, but in white, flowing, sacred, almost translucent. "You built your kingdom on sand," she said. "I came back to fix what I broke." "No," she said, voice like a wind rustling through leaves. "You came back because you were lost." He knelt before her. "Then help me find my way." She touched his forehead. A brief flicker of warmth. "You must walk through what you fled." The next day, the village held its annual festival of remembrance. It was a time to honor ancestors and reckon with the spirits of the past. Ayana dressed in ceremonial black and gold, her face painted in white tribal markings. She walked in silence at the head of the procession. Kwebena joined the crowd. When she reached the ancestral altar, she stopped and turned. "This is a land of memory," she said to the gathered villagers. "And memory has teeth." She called his name. Kwebena stepped forward. "Before the ancestors," she said, "tell the truth." The wind howled. The candles flickered. Even the sky dimmed. Kwebena swallowed. "I abandoned the one who made me. I cast aside the woman who fed my dream. I took her love and built with it, then left her in the shadows. I betrayed Ayana." A gasp moved through the crowd. Elder Nene nodded slowly. Ayana turned to the altar. "Let the ancestors hear. Let the spirits know he has spoken." And then, the drums began. The festival turned wild. People danced, wept, chanted. A cleansing had begun. But for Ayana, it was not enough. That night, she sat before the baobab, flames dancing around her. Essie arrived, afraid but resolute. "Sister," she said, "you have reclaimed your name. Now let him go." Ayana looked up. Her eyes shimmered. "It is not that simple. When a tree is struck by lightning, it cannot pretend it never burned. Then heal. Don't haunt." Ayana rose slowly. "If healing were a door, I lost the key long ago." In Accra, Zara filed for divorce. Kwebena lost 2 major investors. Rumors of a spiritual curse surrounded his name. One article called him the visionary who vanished. In Ngori, Ayana began to fade from public sight again. She returned to silence, to shadows. But the village remained aware of her. Her presence lingered in the wind, in the smell of burning sage, in the rustle of baobab leaves. One evening, a group of young women gathered around Elder Nene. They asked him to tell a story. He smiled and looked toward the baobab. "Let me tell you of the fire beneath the tree. A fire that once burned for love, and now burns for memory." To be continued.